everybody. Hello there. How are you? Guess what we're doing today? Reading. We're gonna be reading today. We're gonna be reading 3 and 4, I think. 4 is a little long, but I think we're gonna get to 3 and 4 today. So thanks for being here. I have been really having a fun time reading the book with you guys. I wasn't really sure. Okay, announcement. Not really. I wasn't really sure if I was gonna rewatch Heated Rivalry after I read the book because I thought that might be excessive. But I don't think it is, considering I feel like so many people have rewatched it after watching it, and it needs it because I'm editing my videos down for YouTube, as some of you may know, and I'm watching episodes 1 and 2 and I'm editing them, and I'm like, I do not remember watching that, and I feel like I missed so many things. So if that seems excessive, I really am so sorry, but like it's coming from a genuine place of wanting to watch it. Yeah, I'm probably gonna rewatch it and share that journey with you guys. So that's one thing. So if you hate that, I'm sorry. If you love it, great. Second, I saw that you can go live on Patreon. Do any of you know about that? Anybody know about going, why do people go live on Patreon? I mean, I will, but like, have you followed any other creators that do it? Because I have the equipment and I could do it very easily, but like, to do what? Like, what do people do? Like, do people like react to stuff, watch stuff? Like, I don't know how that works. So if you have any input on that, just thank you all so much for all the support. I'm also kind of delaying putting up my next series that I want to watch because I'm unsure if anybody's gonna actually like it, but I know I should just do it for me anyway. Chapter 2 we read, it ended with them at the gym, with the gym moment where they were both like where they exchanged the water bottle and like their hands touched. That happened in June of 2009. That was chapter 2. Chapter 3 is December 2009, which is a little bit later that same year in Ottawa. So we're going to read chapter 3. Ilya watched the red glowing numbers on his hotel room's alarm flock between 11:56 to 11:57. The room was completely dark. His roommate was down the hall along with half the team watching the American New Year's Eve celebration on television. Ilya had been in that room too. He had watched the Black Eyed Peas perform and had eaten chips and made jokes with the teammates. And then he just wanted to be alone at 11:58. There was no mistaking that Ottawa was Shane Hollander's hometown. It was Shane Hollander fucking mania here. His face and his freckles were everywhere. Newspapers, television, buses, banners, the sides of buildings. Of course Hollander was from Canada's capital city. Of course the city was in was as inoffensive and bland as he was. Their teams hadn't played each other yet, and they likely wouldn't before the gold medal game. It would be a shocking upset if it didn't end up, why can I not read today? Let me read that whole sentence over again. Their teams hadn't played each other yet, and they likely wouldn't before the gold medal game. It would be a shocking upset if it didn't end up being Canada and Russia in the finals. 11:59. Oh, this is for 2010. This is for the 2010. Oh, I just ripped it. New Year's Eve. Ilya would be moving to Boston this summer, to America. He had never been out of Russia for more than a couple of weeks at a time. He would begin his NHL career. He would be rich and famous. He would be his own man, away from his family. Midnight. Happy New Year! Happy New Year, he murmured to himself. He sat up on the bed and grabbed the package of nicotine gum off his nightstand. He popped a piece in his mouth and frowned as he chewed it. He could hear fireworks outside and his teammates cheering in the rooms around him. He wanted a real cigarette. He wanted to fuck someone. He wanted to go down to the hotel gym and find Shane Hollander on a treadmill. But Shane Hollander wasn't staying at his hotel. Shane Hollander was probably ringing in the new year with friends and family in his perfect hometown that loved him so very, very much. Oh my God, the sparkety sparks. He's like thinking about him in like a way that's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna rip you apart, brother. That night in the hotel gym in Los Angeles 6 months ago now, Ilya had very nearly embarrassed himself. He probably could have covered it up with his usual cocky charm, but he had been damn close to flirting with Hollander. Ooh, or possibly just pressing him up against a wall and taking his mouth. The thing was, he wasn't so sure that Hollander would have hated it. He wasn't sure. Unless Ilya was very bad at reading people, and he definitely wasn't, Hollander probably would have kissed him right back. And Jesus, the thought had consumed Ilya since draft day. Oh my god, Ilya had probably fucked, in his rough estimate, dozens of women since then. He certainly had no reason to obsess over his fucking arch rival, or his arch rival's freckles, or his dark eyes, or the way his cheeks glowed red when he exerted himself. Fuck. Anyway, Russia was undefeated in the tournament so far. Canada was also undefeated. Only one team would stay that way until the end. Ilya had more important things to think about than freckles and polite Canadian boys. Shane couldn't have been happier that his second and his last World Junior Championship was being held in his hometown. He had spent Christmas with his family and New Year's Eve with his teammates at the hotel. His parents had been at every game as usual, and he had been able to visit with lots of friends. He had been in a great mood for the entire tournament, and he'd been playing outside hockey. And now it was the night before the gold medal game, and Canada would be facing Russia for the second year in a row, and Shane would be facing Ilya Rozanov. He hadn't seen Rozanov at all for the first entire tournament. The Canadian and Russian teams had been practicing at different rinks and staying in separate hotels. This game would be their first match. Okay, I need to slow down. But Shane had watched every game Russia had played, and he had been studying video footage of Rozanov, and this time he was going to beat his ass. He had mostly forgotten that he had mostly forgotten the way it had felt when Rozanov had brushed his fingers against his hand when he had handed him the water bottle in that hotel gym 6 months ago. He had barely thought all about his flustered skin or the way the damp curls of his hair had fallen into his hazel eyes. It had to have been adrenaline. The afterglow of the thrill of competition, when they had been sprawled out on the floor after pushing their bodies as hard as they could on the treadmills. It had a bit of glitch in his brain, which had been overstuffed with emotions from a roller coaster of draft day. He had been tired and confused, and his brain had just turned off all into that something ridiculous. So Shane had got back to life as usual after that night. Oh, he just went back to normal. Sorry, my reading will get better, I promise. He'd broken up with his oh my god, he'd broken up with his girlfriend, but he had been overdue anyway. There was this one other thing that had changed. Shane had found himself noticing men. Noticing is italicized. Not his teammates or his friends or anyone like that. Just dot dot dot. Like a guy at the airport Starbucks, or the guy who had been in the cereal aisle of the grocery store in Kingston a few weeks ago, or the guy who was on Friday Night Lights. But it's not like he wasn't into girls. Girls were very into him, and they were throwing themselves at him now that he was about to become a millionaire superstar. So yeah, he had been hooking up with girls. Plenty of girls. Like at least two girls since breaking up with his girlfriend. Not like all the way sex, but like sex stuff. He had definitely been blown by two different girls since July, and he had enjoyed it, with his head tilted back and his eyes closed. And he hadn't thought about Ilya Rozanov's dark, wet lips or his crooked smile at all. No. No, no, no. Because, why would you? Are you getting tired of second place? Rozanov smirked. I'm winning this game, Shane growled. There is not an I in team, right? There's an I in suck my dick. Rozanov raised an eyebrow as they bent for the face-off. There is also an I in silver, he said. Shane made sure he won the face-off, and he made sure he was exactly where he needed to be to score a goal 40 seconds later. And he made sure they won that game. For all his cockiness and teasing, Ilya took hockey very seriously, and he hated to lose. But this time he had lost, and he would be going back to Russia with a silver medal. He wasn't proud of it. Damn, he really be talking all that smack, and Shane said, I'm gonna whoop your ass. He didn't want to return to Russia at all. He wanted to stay in North America and start the next phase of his life. Oh, yeah, that's right. He didn't want to hear his father, who likely hadn't even watched any of the games, shame him for not bringing home a gold medal. Ain't that the fucking truth, right? All these expectations and all this shit when they're not even. It goes for anything. It's not even just sports. It could be anything, like your critics, like your haters. They don't even see what you're doing. You know what I mean? He didn't want to live with his father or depend on anyone anymore. He wanted to be rich and famous and loved and have a huge garage full of sports cars. He wanted expensive clothes and gorgeous women and hot nightclubs. He wanted the weight of his family and his country lifted. He wanted to be himself. On the ice, in the lineup to shake hands at the very end of the game, Hollander had looked into Ilya's eyes. It had only been for a second, but had felt like everything around it had been frozen and fallen silent. Hollander's damp, sweaty hand had wrapped itself around Ilya's damp, sweaty hand, and when their eyes had locked, he squeezed Ilya's fingers just a little. Oh my God, I got goosebumps. That look and that squeeze had said so many things to Ilya. I know. We were supposed to stand alone at the top, but we will always be there together. We will keep climbing until no one else can reach us, but it will always be together. There had been nothing apologetic in Hollander's eyes, but there had been no gloating either. And by the time Ilya had shaken the last Canadian hand in the lineup, he was smirking to himself, because soon to be the real battle between him and Shane Hollander would begin, and he couldn't fucking wait. Oh my God. Chapter 4. Oh my God. I literally just got goosebumps. I love the way that she writes. It's so like you can feel the emotion. Or maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just in my like maybe I'm just in my reading era, but like and also I've seen the show. So it doesn't help that I've seen these two characters, but like it makes it more prevalent that like the two guys that played the characters like Connor and Hudson, like these two boys, like they really nailed it because I can see them in this book easily. It feels like this book was written after the show, like with more context, obviously, but really it's the other way around. Um, Shane squeezed Ilya's hand. He'd locked eyes. He'd squeezed Ilya's fingers just a little. I just got goosebumps again. That look and that squeeze had said so many things to Ilya. And then that part that I was reading after, I know we were supposed to stand alone at the top, but we will always be there together. We will keep climbing until no one else can reach us, but we will always be together. That part is italicized, just that part, and I don't understand why. But maybe we'll get there. If it's spoilers, don't tell me. Oh my God, chapter 4. Okay. All right. Chapter 4. Are we about what time? How much? Okay, 15 minutes. Okay, yeah, we can. This will be one video. Oh, what is this chapter? I feel like this is a big chapter.